What's going on, y'all? So I want to make this video. I'm gonna make this video really quick. Usually I don't respond to comments no more. It's been years, like not even years. Like it's very like every like 2 years is when I respond to comments. But it's just some comments that just like irritate me as much. And this is a problem that I was like I wanted to talk about. And this video is gonna be titled like Judging Christians. And these Christians, and I'm not trying to like be rude to nobody because I'm a Christian myself. Like I'm not like somebody just say, "Oh, I'm a Christian," but like, oh, I believe in Jesus, but I actually want to have a relationship with God, stuff like that, right? And the thing is this, I don't think there's nothing wrong with judging, but here's how I want to say, like, if you're really trying to help somebody, you're not trying to tell them what they want to hear, you tell them what they need to hear. Okay, cool. My thing that I have with judging Christians that are like, and it's crazy how like the past 2 years I've been annoyed with this. It's something that's really been annoying me. It's been on my mind. Is like Christians that try to tell somebody, oh, what they should be doing, but they turn around and they're sinning as well, or they're doing the same thing. The thing is this: I'm acknowledging I'm a sinner and I'm not perfect. And stuff like that. But the thing is, what I realize what these people are doing, they're sinning, and they sitting here trying to tell somebody, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing that." That is what annoys me, and that is why I don't like being around. Like, I'm not saying all Christians are like this, because there's some cool Christians I know, but those type of Christians I don't want to be around because they're just so annoying. Now, there was a topic that I was talking about where it was like somebody was talking about the stock market is gambling, and I don't think it's gambling, because gambling and like the it could be a debate. The stock market and what is it again? Stock market and gambling, two different things. Now, I used to gamble, but I stopped because I don't really want to do that. You know what I mean? I try my best not to gamble no more. So that now it's different. The stock market, day trading, you never know if you're going to win or lose, but you have a higher chance than when you gamble. When gambling, say you're trying to play the pick 3, the pick 4, cash 5, mega millions, make whatever it's called, you have no chance. Like, it's hard to win on that stuff. But in trading, you have a higher chance of winning, even though you're not guaranteed if you're going to win or lose, because the trade could go any way. So I guess some people will call it gambling, but it's really not if you have a strategy. If you just go in there and throw your money into a trade and you don't have no strategy and all that, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose the trade. Almost like you're gonna lose the trade. And you just going in there just throwing money. It's different. Gambling is just you just throwing money at something and hoping that you win. You know what I mean? And some people could say, "Oh, you can have a strategy with gambling." I guess, but like I said, people are trying to play those little games about that. But overall, you have a higher chance. You have a strategy to where it's like it's going to wind up working eventually, I guess. But overall, my thing is, this person had tried to address somebody and say, "Oh, gambling is a sin and you're this, that, whatever," right? And then I disagree with him. I challenge him to it. Not a debate, but like I replied to him. And this guy says if somebody claims they never lost money in the market, they're a DAMN liar. Now, he's right. If you say you never lost money in the market, you're a liar. But my thing is, what I want to call him out on, you just said how people shouldn't, gambling is sin and you shouldn't be this and trying to judge people, but you just cursed. You just said DAMN. So I call him out on that. And I'll pull up a verse of Ephesians 4, chapter 29, and this guy wants to try to make excuses. You just cursed. That's my problem that I have with certain Christians. That's my problem. The Bible talks about moving the plank out of your own eye before you move the plank out of your own brother's eye, because you're basically being a hypocrite. You're basically being a hypocrite. You do that. Like, you gotta move the plank out of your own brother's eye first so you can move it out of, your brother's eye. Because if you got a plank in your own eye, how you gonna move the plank out of your brother's eye? This is stuff that I be talking about. I don't like being around people. I don't like Like, I don't like going to church around people. I don't like being around people. I like being with God alone. I like talking to God alone. I like going in my room, closing my door, praying to God. That's what I like doing. I don't like, this is why I don't like, because they act like they're so much better than people. And I used to never understood what people mean by that, or why some Christians act like they're so much better than people. And now I start to understand why. And it's very annoying. It's very annoying. Very, very annoying. And I understand what they're talking about now. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with judging, because the Bible says judge righteously. John 7:2-4. See, people be thinking I'm not a Christian, not just because I know the verses, but it's like I really want to get to know how relationship with God. So it's like I want to I want to remember his verses, and I want to, not just be a hearer of the word, be a doer of the word, stuff like that. You know what I mean? But it's just, that's an issue that I have, and it's like, I'm not trying to insult nobody. I'm not trying to do none of that. It's just, it's just been bothering me, man, because I've been biting my tongue about certain things about the Christian community, but it's just so annoying me. I'm not saying I'm just to bash nobody. I'm just saying it needs to be addressed. Is what I'm saying is, I just said all the verses that need to be said about removing the plank out of your own eye before you move it out your brother's eye, like stuff like that, bro. Like, these people be out here sinning, bro. It's people that probably go to church and they act like they're so much better than somebody. Then they walk out of that church and they're still like they act like they never, you know what I mean? They act like a totally different person, bro. Because you think you go to church, you better than somebody. Because you ain't better than somebody because you go to church. You ain't better than, you know what I mean? You're not better than somebody because whatever reasons you think you're better than somebody, you're not. You're not. You're a sinner just like the rest of us. Like, if you're going to correct your brother, correct your brother. But don't be a hypocrite when you correct your brother. Like that, I don't like listening to people that's a hypocrite that's doing the same thing. Because we all been hypocrites before. We all been hypocrites. But I don't like when people do the same thing. I just don't like that. I don't like when people do something and then they try to, I don't know. I just don't like when people do that. I don't like when people do that. You out here sinning, man. Yeah, you out here sinning, but you out here trying to judge somebody else on they sin. Remove the plank out your own eye first. I'm not ashamed to admit that, like, well, actually I am ashamed to admit that I have been a hypocrite in the past before. Because we're all human. We're all human. We all sin. My thing is, I don't like people that think like they try to make it seem like they're so much better than somebody, or they don't sin. They act like they have never sinned, or they, you know what I mean? They won't acknowledge their sin, and they're calling everybody out on their sin. I don't like that. That irritates me. Usually, I'm good at ignoring people. It's just like when I see somebody comment something that just don't make no sense. It's like, man, come on, bro. You being a flat out hypocrite. I'm gonna call you out on that. But it is what it is.